What is going on, guys? BASSFZz here. And today I decided I'm going to make maybe one or two more videos on Hobby Lobby. One of which is the video you're watching today, is going to be me answering 20 questions about the Hobby Lobby court case ruling. This is brought to you by Atheist Voice, I think the channel is called, by a man named Hemit Mehta, or Hemit to Mehta, or something like that. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce names very well. But I watched this video and I noticed that he asked each question with a tinge of snarkiness. So I decided I'm going to reply to each question with equal or more snarkiness to it. With that being said, let's go.
Following the Supreme Court's ruling on the Hobby Lobby case, I'm still a little confused about a few things, so I'm going to just toss some questions out there and maybe you can help me answer them. Do Hobby Lobby's owners realize that birth control pills can be used for reasons other than birth control?
What difference does it make? They still don't want to cover it.
Like, some women use them to help decrease menstrual cramps. Do they not know about that, or do they just not care?
Other than that, I'm fairly certain that a group of people who are intelligent enough to run a business know that these contraceptives or these birth control pills have other uses other than contraceptives. So what? It doesn't change their opinion on it. Again, what difference does it make? Midol helps reduce menstrual cramps, so shit fire. And for anyone that's wondering, how do I possibly know Midol reduces menstrual cramps? It's because I've lived with 4 women for most of my life. And it's almost like their periods get synchronized. I'll let you imagine how fucked up of a situation that normally is.
Why does Hobby Lobby's retirement plan have $73 million invested in funds that include companies that make contraception?
Because they literally cover 16 out of 20 other forms of contraceptives for women, you idiot.
Why do Hobby Lobby's owners think it's perfectly fine to cover Viagra? I mean, I know it's not an abortion pill by any means, but we know what the purpose of it is, and why are they okay with funding that?
Because sex equals procreation, and they're Christian, and they want more babies to arise because they like babies. I don't know. What difference does it make? Really? So what if they cover Viagra? It's not abortion. It's not death. It's not killing. It doesn't have anything to do with their argument being that they feel that the birth control that these women want is akin to abortion. Nothing to do with that. So I hope that answers your question.
Do Hobby Lobby's owners understand that the morning after pill that they say causes abortions doesn't actually do that? It prevents implantation, and that's not the same thing.
Okay. What's your point? Again, it makes no difference. They don't want to cover it. They don't have to cover anything they don't want to cover. Even if it prevents implantation or prevents the living cells from attaching to each other, it wouldn't change the overall theme of them not wanting to cover health insurance they should not have to cover.
Since corporations are people, if Hobby Lobby ever puts another company out of business, can we accuse it of murder?
I don't think you understand how the free market works. A company itself doesn't put another company out of business. What happens is the people decide to shop at one company more than the other. Because the cost of doing business for company B outweighs its revenue, it either has to A, change its business plans, or B, go out of business. Technically, that's not even close to akin to anything that is murdered. That's the free market working. The free market is going to shift towards what the majority or what the people who support one market go towards. If one business fails, it could be because they have a terrible business plan or the people don't like the product or the product sucks. Now is a stupid question.
Can Hobby Lobby's owners now decide that they don't want to cover any forms of contraception? I mean, they specifically didn't want to cover 4 things, including IUDs and morning after pills. But what if they suddenly change their mind and decide they don't want to pay for condoms either?
So what? That means the people can say, well, you know, I don't like the benefits, so I'm going to go work at another company. But then you might reply, but sirs, getting jobs are hard. It's hard to get another job. And to that I reply, suck it up then. Okay, either you deal with the benefits of the company that you decided to work at, or you go move to another company. Or you can work at home. Or you can become a film director, or whatever. You have agency, you can choose. Or maybe now, just maybe, you can take the money that you got from that company and go buy any of your other contraceptives, including condoms.
What if a closely held business is owned by a Christian and a Muslim and a Scientologist? Do only one of their religions count when it goes for the company, or do they somehow mix all three of them and the employees are totally screwed?
I'm pretty sure it would be the person, or like the head director, I don't know, the CEO, the person who has the most shares. Maybe the three people amongst themselves can decide whose religion the company goes for. Among other things, companies don't really have religions themselves. It's just the people who run the companies that have said religions. But regardless, really what we're talking about is policies and benefits that are provided. And again, when you say that all the employees are screwed, you do understand they don't have to work there, right? Like they can make decisions, right? Like, you know that's possible, right?
Would the Supreme Court have ruled the same way if we were talking about non-Christian business owners?
I would hope so.
Is it just a coincidence that all 5 of the justices who ruled in favor of Hobby Lobby happen to be Roman Catholic?
There's no such thing as a coincidence. So, I mean, before the Hobby Lobby case even started, all 5 Supreme Court justices were Roman Catholics. So, no, it's not a coincidence.
When will Monster.com start letting you sort through companies by their faith?
Probably never, because technically a company does not have a faith. It is the CEO who is running the company that does.
Is Hobby Lobby gonna stop selling hangers?
I don't know.
At what point during a job interview should you ask about the owner's faith? It's strange, really, because normally in an interview, whoever's interviewing you can't ask you what religion you are. But now it seems kind of important to be able to ask about the owner's religion. So
it doesn't matter what faith the job owner has. What you want to know are the type of benefits you're going to receive or lack thereof. That's what you should be asking. Okay, maybe the type of benefits you receive might be based off of or influenced by the individual's faith, but the faith itself has nothing to do with your job. If you are a janitor, why would you need to know what the person's faith is? You're cleaning up after people.
So when should you do that? Like up front in the interview, later in the interview, as you're shaking hands before you leave?
Maybe during a company retreat or during a company barbecue. Take your pick. Or maybe you can just go on that person's Facebook.
When should business owners tell prospective employees about the restrictions on their insurance? Is it going to be like written in fine print in the job application, or do you have to wait till you get the job before you find out about this stuff?
Imagine it would already be written in fine print. This guy.
What if a company's owner decides to change religions at some point? Does the company's religion also change along with that? And at what point do your insurance restrictions change?
It doesn't work that way. This guy. See, this is what I'm talking about here. Okay, even if the person's personal religion does change, the benefits themselves won't change unless the person decides to change them. If they don't change the benefits, it wouldn't matter what religion they have.
If a company is owned by a Jehovah's Witness, can they now restrict blood transfusions?
Yes.
If a company is owned by a Hindu, can he or she restrict pills that are covered by gelatin?
Yes.
If a company is owned by a Scientologist, can the owners restrict any antidepressants?
Yes. Yes, they can.
Can a Christian business owner now refuse to pay property taxes because they don't want evolution taught in the public schools nearby?
I really don't have an answer to that question because I'm not really sure what that has to do with fucking Hobby Lobby. So, I don't know. Can they? You tell me.
Where is the line drawn between a fair religious objection and an unfair religious objection? Even Justice Ginsburg said in her dissent that it wasn't much help for lower courts bound by the Supreme Court's decision.
The moment you start actually enforcing your beliefs onto someone, in other words, when you put a gun to their head and say, hey, you gotta believe what I believe, otherwise I'll blow your head off. Which, of course, you still technically have a choice in that situation. No one can really force you to do anything you don't want to do, even if they beat you halfway to death. I guess to answer this question, where is the line drawn? That's a tough one. And it's tough simply because it's very subjective. Right? So I guess there's no way you could legally quantify that. So, I don't know. You have to answer your own question. When is it drawn? I can answer it for me personally. I can't answer it for everybody else. But I guess, like I said, the line is drawn when people start becoming hypocrites and don't own up to the credences they tell other people to own up. That's my answer to your question.
How can I boycott Hobby Lobby if I never shop there in the first place?
By definition, you can't. Well, that was all 20 questions. I'm thinking about maybe responding to some more videos from this channel in particular. One in particular, 78 questions to Christians. I'm going to play around with that idea. If you guys think I should respond to that video, go ahead and tell me, and I will. But this is the end of the video, so guys, as always, if you like this video, please go ahead and click that like button. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Comment in the comments below, and as always, have a great day. I'll see you cool cats soon. Adios.